All right, so today we're going on to Chapter 2, Section 3, Multiplying and Dividing Integers. And we have some little symbols up here right at the top. If you have a negative times a negative, that's going to give you a positive. I'm looking right here. If you have a negative, there should be a dot here, times a negative, that's going to give you a positive. If you have a negative times a positive, you're going to have a negative. And if you have a positive times a negative, you're going to have a negative. So what this is telling me is if the signs are the same, your answer is going to be positive, and if your signs are different, your answer is going to be negative. Okay? So now it says first multiply the numbers without the signs. So that's what we're always going to do. Just like here, you're going to do negative 5 times 4, that gives you 20. Then I look, the signs are different. I have one negative, one positive, so my signs are different. So my answer is negative 20. I go down to the next one. 3 times 9 is 27. Okay, now I look at my signs. Both of them are negative, so since my signs are the same, my answer is positive 27. Now I'm going to go down here. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 7 is 42. Now I have, when I did the first one, 2 times negative 3, different signs, so that gives me negative 6. Negative 6 times negative 7, since the signs are the same, I get positive 42. Okay? So if you're struggling a little bit with your integer, or not your integer rules, with your multiplying and dividing fractions, your multiplication and division problems, the facts, then remember, I'm going to write it over here, Flash to Pass is the app, or you can go to, remember, just Google Math Magician, and those are the two things we've been using in class to practice our facts. So go ahead and spend a couple minutes a night going over those if you're still struggling. So now we have 3 times 2. So we have 3 groups of 2. So we're adding 2, then we're adding a second group of 2, and then we're adding a third group of 2. So 3 times 2 means 3 groups of 2, which gives me positive 6. Okay? And then the same thing down here. We have 3 times negative 2. So that means 3 groups of negative 2. So we start at 0, and since we're going negative, we're going 1 group of negative 2, 2 groups of negative 2, 3 groups of negative 2. So 3 times negative 2 gives us negative 6, because negative 2 plus negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 6. Okay? The other way you can look at it besides same sign, if you have more than 2 numbers, if your signs, if you have an even number of negatives, your answer is positive. If you have an odd number of negatives, your answer is negative. Meaning, if I have negative 2 times negative 3, I have 2 negatives, so my answer is positive. If I have negative 2 plus times negative 3 times negative 1, 2 times 3 is 6 times 1 is 6. I have 1, 2, 3 negatives. 3 is an odd number, so my answer is negative 6. All right, so now they want us to try a couple of these. This 3 is kind of random down there. So 4 times 3 is 12. Remember, we do the multiplication first. Then we look at the signs. 1 negative, my answer is negative. Okay, then we do 25 divided by 5 is 5. 2 negatives, so my answer is positive. Then we have 9 times 8 is 72. 1 negative, so my answer is negative. And then negative 81 divided by 3. Let's see, 81 divided by 3. 3 goes into 8 twice, which is 6. 21. So that's going to be 27. 1 negative, so my answer is negative. So I'm going to have you guys try the next 2, and then we'll go over them. Okay, so for this one, 96 divided by negative 4. 4 goes into 96 24 times. And since I have only 1 negative, my signs are different, it's negative 24. Over here, 7 times 5 is 35. Even number of negatives, or both are negative, my answer is positive. Okay? So take a look at these notes, and then we will go over this tomorrow in class.